Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Monkey Wrench. I'm Kelly, the monkey with the wrench, and today is Solar Sunday.
Please subscribe.
Look, I have my new watt battery above my head because yesterday I was feeling itchy. I've been stuck in the house for the last few days because of Hurricane Helene passing us by here in Florida. Thankfully we didn't have any damage, but I had to close down the shop, put all the tools away, take the solar stuff apart that I had, because my stuff's not temporary, my stuff's not permanently set up. It's all temporary setup so I can do testing and make videos for you guys and show you how easy it is to deal with. So I've had to lock everything down, put everything away, and I've been going crazy inside the house again like it's the logger lurgy all over. So last night I decided I was going to make some changes here in the office, and my refrigerator used to be down on the bottom, and I used to have my fish tanks over here on my shelves. I took the fish inside because of the hurricane, in case anything happened to my office trailer. I didn't want anything to happen to my fishies. It's been driving me crazy that my refrigerator was down on the floor and I'd have to bend down just to be able to see what was in it. So I ripped out my corner shelf last night and built a new cupboard that went across here so I could put the refrigerator up top so I could stand up and look inside of it, and gave it a clean. And I'm kind of redoing the whole front side here of the office. I'm moving the sink still. There's my water filter. Got to be ready for hurricanes, got to be ready for anything. We do a lot of prepping here. And so while doing that, because I used to have a cabinet here that I built in, and I had all my light switches up here on this side of the door with my 12-volt system. When I ripped that out, I had to move a few things. So I moved my switch panel over to here, and then I wired it in. So instead of using my EcoFlow Delta to power the office, I'm using this new watt cycle brand battery. That's a 100 amp hour battery. It was sent to me by the good people at Watt Cycle, and I love it, and I'm putting it to good use and testing it out here, running all of my 12-volt stuff, including my fan over there on the ceiling, all my lighting, my television, that kind of thing that's in the office. And I was working on this until about 2 a.m. and it's Saturday already, and because of the hurricane all week, I did not have time to make any videos. So with all that being said, for my regular viewers that care about the hurricane, thankfully it passed us by. We skirted the edge and we didn't get a direct hit. Thoughts and prayers are going out to those that did, all the way up to Detroit and Indiana. Really, I hope you guys recover quickly. I know what it's like to go through hurricanes. That's what got me into all this stuff, was being prepared in case we lose power. I've got solar, I've got excellent LifePo batteries from good companies. I've got 12-volt systems. I can run my AC for weeks if we're out of power. I can run my refrigerator. That's what's, in fact, this refrigerator right here is in fact running off of this battery right here. And with solar panels, I can run this stuff indefinitely, so I'm always nice and comfortable. So today's video is going to be on this. This is, for all intents and purposes, a watt meter. If you're going to be running solar, you want to know the most important thing in the world. How much solar do I need? How many panels do I need? How many batteries do I need? How long will that battery run the things that I want? In this case, all my lighting, my television, my refrigerator, and I can charge my phone. I can do all kinds of stuff with it. And the answer to all of those things is, how many watts are you using? As an example, this watt cycle battery here is a 12-volt 100 amp battery. It has approximately 1280 watt hours. Now what that means is that you can run 1280 watts of power for 1 hour. If you want to run less, you'd be able to run what, half of 1280 is 640. So if you were running 640 watts, you could run it for 2 hours. If you were running 320 watts, you could run it for 4 hours. My air conditioner runs at about 320 watts, so I can run it for about 4 hours on that battery. So doing the math when it comes down to it's real simple. You need one of these, and I will put a link in the description for this. They're only about $8 or $9. This is a good one. I've had it for a while. It's really easy to use. And the reason for this is because when I plug something in, this tells me how many watts it uses. So if I figure, okay, I want to run my lights, I know that my lights run 8 watts. They're 12 volt battery or 12 volt LED lights. There's 6 of them on the ceiling, and it comes out to be about 8 watts. So 8 watts per hour. If you divide 1280 watts by 8, you'll know how many hours you can run just your lights. If you want to run your refrigerator like that one runs about 50 watts, and that's with the compressor on. With the compressor off, it runs like 12 watts, I think. So I got a high efficiency refrigerator that runs about 50 watts. So if I want to know how long that'll run, I put 50 watts, that's 100 for 2 hours, so 1200, it's about 24, 25 hours. I can run that refrigerator off of that battery without having to recharge it. Now thankfully here in Florida, we get about 8 or 10 hours of sun each day. So I can recharge this battery in about 3 hours with my solar panels. So as long as I have sun, I can run that refrigerator on that battery indefinitely. And it will always recharge the next day off my solar panels. So I'm good to go. So that's why you want to have this particular tool or something like it showing you what your appliances say. Now on many appliances it's actually printed right on there. I don't happen to have any appliances, but if you look at a light bulb, like the old school light bulbs, they were 60 watts, 40 watts, 80 watts, 100 watts. That's how much power they drew. You can look on like a ceiling or a plug in the wall fan, and it might say 40 watts. My Keurig runs 750 watts. So some things will say right on there how many watts it uses. Now that's per hour of use. If you're using your coffee pot and it's 750 watts, but it only takes about 3 minutes to heat up and make your coffee, well then you know, okay, I need 750 watts for 3 minutes, and you can figure out how long you want it for. So let's go inside into the house and let me show you how this machine works. Alright, here we are inside. You've got your watt meter right here. All you have to do is plug it into the wall, give it a second, and it cycles. Make sure it says W for watts. I have a couple of things here, including a lamp, and I'm going to plug it in, and you can see that it uses 7.7 watts. See if I can get you a little closer. 7.7, 7.8 watts. And you can do all kinds of stuff with this. It's running a timer right now, and you can check other things, but in my case I just want to know what something's running at. So now I can go ahead and unplug it, give it a second, and it'll stop. It'll go away. Now we're back to 0. Easy enough. Now I'm going to take this old microwave that's literally 40 years old. I'm going to plug it in and I'm going to turn it on. And you can see, that it's making all kinds of noises, and I'm not sure why. There's nothing in there. But you can see what it was running at, and I'm not even messing with that thing right now. Unplug it, it goes back to 0. This is a small refrigerator. This small refrigerator right here, that's that old microwave. You can see how old that thing is. But now I'm going to go ahead and plug in this refrigerator right here, and it may take a second for the compressor to clip on. Oh, I heard it come on right away. It jumped right to 940. And now it's down to 122 watts, 121, 120. You can see that yourself. So with the compressor on this little Avanti brand refrigerator, this is a very small dorm room size. You can see it. It runs right now, it's down to 102 watts with the compressor on. With the compressor off, it'll probably do more like 10 watts or something. But the idea behind this is you can plug in just about anything. Let's plug in this toaster. We'll unplug the fridge. We're down to 96 watts. So as this thing works, the wattage will drop down, and I think it'll eventually go down to like 50 or 60 because this is a very small unit. But you can find out how many watts you're pulling for anything you plug in. Now if I unplug that, let's plug in this toaster. Let's turn it on. And you can see it's pulling 775 watts. That's a lot of wattage just to toast some bread. But that is what it is. Now a toaster only runs for a minute and a half or so. So you can pull 750 watts for a minute and a half and not kill your battery. This is how you figure out how much wattage, how much battery, how much solar you need. Unplug it. I've got a fan here. This is a brand new 10-inch Honeywell fan that I just got from my office. I'm going to plug it in. It's on high, and you can see that it uses about 22 watts. That's 22 watts per hour. As long as it's drawing this much power, that's what it'll draw per hour, 22 watts. If I put it on a lower setting, oh, that was the low setting, my bad. High setting is 26 watts. So the difference between setting on high and setting on low is only about 4 watts. So when people worry about using up too much electricity and putting things on low, you can see it doesn't make much of a difference. Now I can turn this back off, unplug it. And the last thing I want to show you is this heating pad. I plug it in. I'm going to turn it on. It's on medium. And it uses about 105 watts per hour. So this stupid little $8 tool is going to answer all of your questions. Let me go ahead and take it off. You can learn other settings on it. You can figure those out, read the directions. This is the only setting I ever use. Unplug it, the thing goes off. Easy enough. So as you can see, this thing is completely indispensable. If you don't know how many watts whatever it is you're trying to run is going to need on an hourly basis, then you have no idea whether you need 100 amp hour battery, a 200 amp hour battery, a 400 amp hour bank. You have no idea if your portable power station is going to be large enough to run what you want. The average portable power station that I've seen is usually 100 amp hours or 1280 watts. But Jackery sells a Jackery 500 Explorer, and that's half the size power wise of a 100 amp hour battery. So it's the equivalent of about a 50 amp hour battery. So a 50 amp hour battery would be half of 1280 watts or about 640 watts. So if you want to run a coffee pot or something along those lines, a toaster, you know you can run something like that for an hour. Once you know how many watts the items that you want to use will use on an hourly basis, you can figure out how many batteries you need. Once you know how many batteries you need, you can figure out how much solar to buy. So you can see that this tool right here is the key to figuring out how much solar you need and how many batteries you need and what you can run on your portable power stations. Now I love my EcoFlow Delta 2. I've been using it in my office for a year. I'm going to be retiring it to do other things with it, make other batteries. And because Watt Cycle sent me this 100 amp hour battery to test out, the first thing I did was want to install it in my office and use it for, well, for good. I'm going to end up having to add at least one more battery to it, so I have 200 amp hours, because I want to run my fish tanks and a few other things off of it, and I want to make it a beefier system. But this just gives you an idea of how you can figure out what you need, where the tools are. I'll leave a link in the description. This thing's under 10 bucks. I am not an affiliate. I'm not an Amazon affiliate. I don't make any money off of this. I could care less where you buy it, but I'm telling you, you need one of these things if you're getting into solar or if you're getting into batteries. Because this Watt Cycle battery that they sent me, I will be charging with solar as I always do. However, I told them to check out the channel, and when they did, they also sent me a LifePo battery charger, a charger that I can plug into the wall just like any other battery charger, but it's for LifePo batteries. So I'm going to be doing a review on this battery and the charger they sent me, because say I don't have solar but I still have power in the house and my office goes dead, well, I can plug in the solar charger, I can plug in the power charger and recharge this just like any other battery. So it's really a brilliant way to go if you're trying to make yourself more sustainable, if you're trying to get off the grid, if you want backups, if you want power whenever you need it. Get yourself one of these. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button. Thanks for coming back for Solar Sunday. Hit the like button. It's somewhere between my chin and my balls, and I'll see you next Solar Sunday.